live up in this piece. Let's start building. The holding screen is happening. Oops, and people can hear me talking. Hi guys, I'll be back. Just pay attention to this nice holding screen. Hear me, don't you? I guess you want to hear me, don't you? There we go. I'm messing stuff up left and right tonight already. This is going to be a great stream. We're messing it up. Welcome to Triple B TV. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight for the live stream, or if you're watching after the fact, thank you for tuning in after the fact. Either way, we're doing them every week at 6 p.m. at this point, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, daylight time, whatever it is. It's on the West Coast. We're burning down over here, and that's what we're doing. Tonight we've got a good buddy on the show. I got to meet Matt once at Tinley, and we just hit it off, and that's why I wanted to have him on, because I think he's a cool guy. I think he deserves all the recognition that he's going to be getting, which he's going to be getting more, in my opinion, especially when he starts to reveal some of the stuff he's working with, which he may have revealed to you guys. I don't know what he's doing to reveal to you guys, but either way, we're going to have a good time tonight, and that's always the plan, and that's always what ends up happening. Every time, we're 100%, 10 for 10, every time having a good time, every time. You're watching Triple B TV. I think you guys may have heard him drop something backstage already, since I had the mic turned all the way up on his thing. Well, without further ado, our guest, Mr. Matt Garrabrant of O'Malley's Morphs. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
For having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. Oh, dude, you already... All right, you officially have the fastest super chat when the stream is started. We've had people super chat before the stream started but you're the first one to get a super chat the instant that you came on the screen. Like, this instant you came on the screen, you got a super chat. So that's your $2, bro. Do with it what you want.
Awesome. I'm a fairly likable guy, so I'll take that.
I think so. Is it the Irish? Is it the Irish stuff that makes you likable? Is that what it is? Because that's always been something that I
don't think so. I don't think that's it.
That's not it?
No, I think it's this.
Oh, it's the face. The face is what makes you a likable guy, not the Irishness.
Face.
I think some of your Irishness probably, like, doesn't some of it have to do with your face? Like, no?
Yeah, well, I guess the beard maybe. I think that's a myth.
All right.
I've met many Norwegians that have orange beards, and Scottish people, and so.
Oh yeah, that's all that Viking influence, right? Like the real Irish are like black hair, blue eye or green eyes, like.
Anymore, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I guess he's like, I guess. Stop breaking my balls, Cusco. I got a freaking Irish flag back here.
Oh shit.
No, just for whatever reason, I've always got along with Irish people. I have never not gotten along with an Irish person, at least not that I knew about. Been to Ireland once, and everybody was super friendly and just awesome people. Um,
Yeah.
and then all
I'm Irish by my biological grandfather's, um, a biological grandfather's side. My dad's side is Black Dutch, which is German Irish. So I mean, there's a tad bit of German in there as well. I guess that's what gives me my size because my mom's like 4 foot. So
yeah. Well, whatever it is, dude. I've always had one of my best friends growing up is Irish, and there's something with me and Irish people I've always gotten along with for whatever reason. And I think that's maybe part of why we hit it off right off the bat. I'm just attesting it to that. I mean, I hate to take away from you just being an awesome dude. It's only because you're Irish. Like, it has nothing to do with your personality.
right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I won you over with it.
Yeah, well, it's important because it's also the name of your. It's not just that you are hanging the flag like O'Malley's Morphs. That's where does that come from? Because your last name's Garrabrant.
Oh, O'Malley's, believe it or not, is an ode to oh man, Primus and Tom Waits. Because I always said if I ever owned a tattoo shop, I would name it O'Malley's Tattoo Alley because of in the song Tommy the Cat, where Tom Waits comes in and he goes, O'Malley's Alley in the part. So I just went with O'Malley's Morphs.
That's another reason. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll probably never own a tattoo shop, so.
Wait, hold on a second. You probably never owned a tattoo shop, but you do. What kind of talk is that right now? Hold on. I had snakes pulled up. Let's get straight to the tattoo here. I got pictures pulled up here, but I want to go straight. Look at that's some good tattoo work right there. Can you tell us about the arm here? Tell us about the flowers and the.
Oh, that's on a client. Where I work, it's right outside of the Smoky Mountains. Little tattoo shop. This really cool lady has had this shop. She was the first woman to own a tattoo shop in Pigeon Forge, like Sevierville area, since like 94, 95. So she's a little bitty spitfire, man. And I don't know, I'm just super happy there. I don't really, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really want the headache of owning a tattoo shop,
No, I feel that absolutely, man. If you're able to just go to a shop and let somebody else do the headache and just do what you like to do, which is do the art and do the tattoos, and you don't have to worry about keeping all the employees under wraps. Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense.
I mean, and she is a super respectable person. We have, the best tattoo shop in, Pigeon Forge. I mean, and that's not me being biased. That's the statistics and the numbers. I mean, she has the best, reviews are pretty important in our business because when people from out of town come, to Pigeon Forge, they're obviously going to Google on their phone, tattoo shops in Pigeon Forge, and we're the first one that gets pulled up. So I've always made it a point to tell all my customers, hey, leave me a review. That really helps me, blah, blah, blah. And they right there, and it just keeps racking up, man. And so, I don't know. I just don't, I've thought about it, but, I'm just super happy where I'm at, man. I don't really ever want to have to deal with all that. I deal with so much already with the snakes and trying to be a dad and an active father, an active husband, and take care of all these damn huge snakes and shit. So
yeah, I get it, man. I get it. That makes perfect sense. Speaking of family, I'm gonna pull a picture here. You guys are beautiful family right here. Sarah and 2 boys.
Yeah, that's Oliver and Liam. That's when we went to Klingmans Dome. A funny ass story about that. This is my family, okay? This is classic us. We get there, and if you've ever been to Klingmans Dome, you park, and then it's literally like a quarter of a mile, a half a mile walk up the rest of the hill. Well, I just hadn't been there since I was a kid, and I was really excited about going. It's the highest point in the Smokies. So, it's cool. There's a huge lookout, but you have to make this fucking walk, man. And we didn't really think about it. We had the boys. I had Liam. We would have had to have like hiked this stroller up this mountain that was like, I mean, it was legitimately like that. And we got about half of 50 yards up the hill and just literally turned around and was like, all right, we'll just take pictures from right here. So that's the story of that picture. That's the we're not walking up that damn hill picture. We'll see the same mountains from up there as we do from right here.
That's classic, dude. Oh, that's funny, man. I'm a top of the hill guy, so I'd have been going straight to the top of the hill, like I promised. If I was there with you guys that day, it would have been all right. You guys chill here. I'll be back once after I get to the top. There's something in me, dude. For whatever reason, I can't not go to the top. If I'm on a hike, like I'm always going to the top for some reason.
I mean, I get that. That's totally understandable.
It's a blessing and a curse. Blessing and a curse.
There was some really cool like rocks that you can climb up there. I've got video of Oliver and Sarah climbing some rocks, and it was pretty cool. But we didn't make it to the top, man. It was no way, dude. I mean, we even went back to the car and like put the stroller back, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just I got this, I got this, and I was gonna take it to just walk with Liam. I didn't even get as far as we did with the stroller, and I was like, this is the heaviest kid on the planet. I was like, I'm not doing it. So yeah, it was actually 2 times we tried, but we'll go back when we've done our cardio and we're ready for a walk.
I was giving you crap about your cardio today. I recall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Between the family, the snakes, and the music, like the way your name. I'm glad you told me. I didn't realize your name was a tribute to Primus and Tom Waits. I love that song too. By the way, Frank. Tom the Cat is my name. Say, baby, we should like to do that with me. Yeah, we've clicked on the music thing. Like you sent me records, and like there was a lot of mornings there where you always sending me music to wake up to. Like send me a little link of some music. And it's all, the Carter family, and it's always like good stuff. And your musical taste is very broad. Like you don't have probably one of the broadest musical tastes I've ever seen in somebody besides myself, as far as how many different genres and styles of music that you are into and actively listen to. And I mean, you sent me that video of you guys killing it in death metal like 12 years ago. You're like lead singer death metal band. Like your musical taste is, again, like the variety is right on par with my own. I don't really meet people that have a genuine love for as many different types of music as you do, as myself.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's really important though. There's so much music to just soak in, man. Who has time to not appreciate it? You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. I couldn't imagine. No, and I mean, I go through spells where I listen to like a lot of bluegrass, or I'll listen to a lot of grindcore, or I listen to a lot of like, I listen to a lot of 3-6 Mafia all the time, and I'll like listen to them, and then I'll stop, and then I'll listen to them. But I mean, over the years, you get exposed to so much, It's a blessing, man. I mean, now the record collection in there has everything from like Dean Martin to some crazy Norwegian black metal to, the Carter family, all the way to, I mean, Revolution, and, and I think that's important. I want my kids to know, how much versatility is in the world,
Yeah.
And to appreciate that.
Yeah. I feel it, man. I agree 100%. That's yeah, it's good stuff. This is why we became instant friends. All your back history, it just lines up with mine. Like we mesh. It's just the way it is. But snakes, of course, snakes. We should talk about some snakes a little bit. I think actually first, let me go back here. Somebody threw you a super chat. I didn't call it out when it happened, but RGV Exotic Pets threw you a super chat with the "What up, Matt?"
What up? What up?
And then somebody else knew. Great Balls of Fryer knows about the walk. He can vouch for you that that walk is no joke up to the top of
Yeah.
that mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, people go. I mean, I think that's like a tourist trap. People go and they like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then they get up there and like, holy shit. Well, I mean, if we turn around, we're gonna fall. So I mean, you get so far, and it's literally like this, bro. I mean, it's like you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. After a while, it's a fucking job. It's not having fun on vacation. So, but
Well, for me, it would be. That's the one part where we definitely go. We fork in the road right there. I'm like, the harder my heart's beating, the more sweat's pouring down my face. I'm like, yes, I'm finally alive.
I'll be waiting for you at the bottom taking pictures.
Well, here I'm gonna switch shirt. I was still wearing this shirt because I took a photo. Like I grabbed a random photo for you off the. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail for the live stream, but I was like, a lot of times I'll just grab a picture for, like, if somebody posts something on Facebook, we're like, all right, well, they were okay with showing that picture publicly. I'll use that one.
Yeah.
I grabbed it and I was like, wait a minute, I think I got a shirt that looks a lot like that, and I have the hat too. So I'm just standing there trying to make the same face. Had Noah take that picture of me this morning.
We look like we're in a band. We look like that's a band photo. We're in like a college white gangster rap, like a white guy rap band.
That, that's another thing all my Irish friends have always done my whole life. They assume I'm white. It's interesting.
Well, whatever. No, oh shit! I know there's like some Scandinavian in there.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of Heinz 57 going on this side of on one side of my chromosomes for sure. Although it's probably mixed on both sides, but um, I really want to talk about the snakes a bit because ball python was the first thing I saw, and O'Malley's morphs I assumed it was ball python stuff, and then that was how long have you been into snakes? And while you answer that question,
We
I need to switch
go ahead.
shirts. Go ahead and
All
talk
right.
about how you got into snakes. I'll be right back.
Uh, I got well. I guess it was like the early 2000s. Um, I got my I was tattooing, and a good buddy of mine actually gave me a pair of tokay geckos. The first reptiles I ever had was a pair of tokay geckos, and that was absolutely fucking horrible. That was a horrible experience. Hey, I like that shirt.
Because they bit you a bunch or what?
Well, they got out, man, because
Oh,
oh, dude, they got out and they would be up in the corner at the middle of the night, like, this is the first fucking reptile I've ever had as a grown man. I was 20, like 23, 24, living on my own. I can do anything I want. I'm going to get some lizards. And that turned into, I had a couple tegus, and I had all types of shit. I had my first ball python back then. I didn't have any morphs, because like '03, there wasn't a whole lot accessible, like that, as far as like what you could get in Knoxville for just some random dude that doesn't want to spend that much money, doesn't really know about it. Fast forward, you know, to about 4 years ago. Well, probably three and a half. May 10th will be 4 years, really. So I'd say about three and a half. Um, uh, we had our first clutches about 3 years ago. I mean, I did like everybody, so many other people. I bought some adults. I didn't grow anything up. I didn't know anything about quality. I mean, 4 years ago, YouTube and stuff was around, but there wasn't, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's plenty of people that were investing in quality 3 or 4 years ago. I just didn't really know that much about it. But yeah, so we were doing mainly ball pythons up until about Tinley, actually, was when I got Mallory, the T positive. Um, that's what started it all, man. I always really wanted blood pythons. Like I remember seeing them and how just red they were, and like, you know, Karen Norris, uh, Tracy Barker, the Barkers, they were like I saw them initially in the Reptile magazine when Dave and Tracy did that, because I used to get a subscription to Reptile magazine back in, you know, the early 2000s, whenever I was kind of into it and, you know, clear-minded enough to do that, to get a subscription to a magazine and shit. But yeah, I always wanted them. But, you know, you always heard the stories, and that, man, it was true. Back then, everything was like wild caught, and it
To
had
like F1 and
yeah, bro. And it had like gone through hell to get here. Like, you know, so no wonder I would be pissed off too if I was like the one of 1,000 that didn't get clubbed over the head for leather, for skin. You know what I mean? And that's really the numbers, dude. That's like, you know, it very rarely, until they figured out, oh shit, well, this one looks different than this one. We could sell this for more money than we can get for the skin, you know. Back then, that's, you know, it was apparently pretty hard, you know, to get. So, I mean, yeah, to answer your question, which the initial question was how long we had been doing ball pythons, was, I guess about 3.5 years now.
well, let me bring that picture back up. So what is this, right? It's some kind of, it's like a spider pinstripe.
Oh, that, okay. That is from that, okay, so that turned out to be, the pairing on that was a spot nose Inchie to a spot nose. She was sold to me from one of my buddies as a hatchling, as a spot nose lemon blast. Okay.
Okay.
So she turned out to be like a spot nose Inchie red stripe lemon blast, or the dad was a spot nose Inchie lemon red stripe. Red stripe ended up in there somewhere. That's what me and Nick were talking about on that live I did with Nick, was that crazy gene that just popped up. It turned out to be like fucking a red stripe, and I just didn't know it. So what that is,
You talking about Nick at Renowned Reptiles, or
yeah, Nick at Renowned. We did a live together when I first had that clutch, because so much stuff popped out, dude. I had like 7 eggs, like 3 world's first combos out of 7 eggs. I mean, that's crazy, man. You know?
Yeah, it is crazy.
We got, I mean, just for some dude in East Tennessee, but didn't even mean to do it. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. We've been very blessed. I always and always will pay my respects and my dues, because we've been very blessed to meet the people we've met. You know, people seem to, you know, like me, I guess. I don't get cast aside, you know, so I'm very thankful for that.
I don't know what that's like to like you. No, don't know what you're talking about.
But you know what I'm saying? There's obviously people that's like, I don't know. I'm sure there's people that think I'm a piece of shit in the car. I mean, whatever. But I mean, there's obviously, you know.
Well, Jeremy Turgeon over at Nerd must like you, Brassman Reptiles, because he just super chatted you, so he must like you.
That's my homie, dude. He's got the sister. He's the one that helped me ID the clutch, bro. I named that snake the Midas combo. Because
yeah, the golden touch. It's that gold is just is popping in that snake, man, for sure. I see it.
You know, and what I'm saying, well, I don't mean to be like people like me. I thought about that.
Matt, let me stop you right there, okay, dude? Let me stop you right there. People like you. I like you. People like you. You put out good energy. That's that. It's a simple. It's more simple than I think some people give it credit for. It's really easy for people to like you if you're putting out the type of energy you're putting out. It's easy. It's easy. Like, it's easy to like somebody like you. I'm telling you right now.
You just have to power through all the bullshit, man, because there's so much people, you know, it's like people just see you doing good, man, and they just want to shit on you and like, you know what I mean? It's like, or whatever, and that sucks, you know. So you just have to like power through that, because there's been times, as you know, man, there's been times where I've been like, I'm done, bro. Like, this sucks. I'm done, you know. And you've been there. There's been a couple people that have been there and been like, you know, it's not. It's, who cares, man? Just do it. Have fun, you know. And that was really cool. I really needed that multiple times. So I appreciate that from you, man.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know, there was a time or two where I was ready just to not do this shit anymore. And you know, I remembered why I started doing it, just because I like editing the videos. I think it's cool going places, and I've gotten better at like filming myself out places. Like, that was really weird for me at first, you know.
Yes, I do know.
Like,
It's weird.
I don't do much outside of this room. So, but yeah, that if we're still talking about that clutch, man, that clutch was amazing. I was super blessed with that clutch. Jeremy took one. That's something that's a big deal for me for 2020, was Jeremy. Like, you know, Jeremy has one of my snakes, so that means like Kevin has seen one of the animals I've created. That's a big deal. Like, you know, uh, so that's cool, man. I mean, that clutch was a blessing, you know.
I feel it, dude.
I I don't think I will do too many more Powerball combos, though, to be honest with you, just because I have noticed that there is unfortunately slightly a wobble with some of them.
That's been a thing that's been kind of known for a bit, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, it's unfortunate, you know, like this year I made the decision to actually I'm not going to be doing. We have one a butterbee lace, and if he didn't have lace in him, we got that guy at uh, the JKR the Chase auction. Um, if and I mean, we just decided, man, I don't know if I really want to breed like Spider, and you know, they're beautiful combos and people love them, but I mean, I when I give something to someone, I want to know that, because not everybody is like me and you and most of the people in the chat. You know, a lot of people aren't that knowledgeable, regardless how much information is out there. A lot of people don't know, you know, basic shit. So, I mean, I want the animal to not have to like reset itself after it strikes and misses something if they just put a mouse in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. So,
Well,
I just
helping
worry
educate
about.
people, anybody that doesn't know as much as you know about snakes, especially like when they're coming. That's kind of our job, is to let people
Yeah,
know and give as much
exactly.
information as possible.
I mean, anytime I send anything out, they have a list of the substrate it's been on. They have the feeding card from the first time it's shed to the last. I mean, um, you know, there should be no questions, as well as my personal phone number. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean,
I know
and
exactly
that's
what you mean.
something.
I always have
Yeah,
one of my prerequisites is that I talk either in person or it's not obviously in person is not always possible, but at a show that's when it's easy. But have a phone
right.
call. Anybody's getting a snake from me, like if they're not willing to jump on a phone call with me, then I'm probably not sending them. Not probably. I'm not sending a snake. You have to get on the phone with me if I'm going to send you a snake. I need to hear your voice and what you.
Exactly. Just to say, you know, hey, I'm ready. I know what's going on. Blah blah blah. I know what all this, you know, entails. What are you putting this in? This type of shit. You know what I mean? So, and especially with the bloods, man. You know, the bloods and the short tails, that takes it to another level. You know that.
Oh yeah, there's this. What's this one right here? This is a caramel albino that you got from Tracy right there.
Oh, that is a whole. That's a grail animal for me. So that came from my first personal transaction with Tracy Barker, and that animal kind of sparked mine. And I mean, you know, me and Tracy have gotten to be really cool, man. She sent me that book. I know showed you that book to the pythons of like Southeast, you know, Asia and all.
Yeah, I have that book. Yeah.
dude, she just sent it to me. She said, hey, do you have that blah 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 volume 3 Python's book? And I was like, no, ma'am, and again, dude, all I did was I answered every question with ma'am, and I, was polite. And
I'm
bro, she said,
I'm a little bit
go ahead.
jealous. I'm a little bit jealous of that. I met Tracy at the Arlington show the first time I went, and sat there and hung out and talked with them for. Actually, we sat there for half the show and and listened to Dave go off on all kinds of stuff. He was full of information, and I really
Yeah,
wanted to get one of the. I was maybe my problem was I was trying to get Dave on a video, and she kind of was
yeah.
like, no. I don't think that's happening. Maybe my mistake was I should have tried to get her on to come on an interview. But if you now,
I've never talked to him, man. And sometimes as a Southern man, I feel kind of awkward talking to another man's wife sometimes, and like that's just a respect thing. But I mean, I was always over the top respectful and like yes ma'am, whatever you need. And see, something else I did was I reached out to her for like 3 months straight. She always put me off, and she was always like, well, we're not shipping right now because of the COVID thing and this and that. So I would wait a month, and I'd say, Miss Barker, this is Madigan, I'm really interested in one of those male. I didn't even say male. I just told her I was really interested in a caramel albino Sumatra. I'm really interested in a caramel albino Sumatra. And I just kept sending her and sending her and sending her. And finally, she sent me pictures, and she was like, "Which one do you like?" And I was like, "Oh well, now we're talking," And so that led into a pretty decent friendship. She took pretty good care of me on that baby, man. That boy is a 2018. Now the reason I bought him, I'll go ahead and tell you. I have one, two, three. I have 4 orange head Ryan Boyd line orange head Sumatran short tails that are all 50% het for caramel albino, and I have one that's 100% het for caramel albino.
I'm going to cut you off, but your homegirl Alyssa's in the chat right now saying that, calling you out, saying that you actually speaking to other people's wives, you call her daily.
Yeah, well, she doesn't count, man.
You hear that, sister? You don't count.
That's family, man.
Oh, Alyssa, that's a whole different subject right now. Let's get back on.
She's always got to run that. So I'm gonna start dropping bows. She's got some big stuff coming up, man.
Yeah, I just found out today. But like,
yeah. She doesn't think that's crazy too, because she's the one that doesn't think she's got thunder in the racks, and like you find out what she's got in her racks, and you're like, what the fuck? But anyway, I'm sure you'll have to talk to her about all that. I'm not giving away no secrets.
Yeah. She says she's just one of the boys anyway. And we'll get off the. Alyssa's kind of a sore subject right at the moment, but so we'll just forget about her for a minute here. Let's go back to the next.
Caramel.
Yeah, let's go with the T positive.
Oh, okay. Now this is Mallard. This is the female that pretty much started all of this. If the flag wasn't up, I'd pull her out, She started every bit of it, to be honest with you, man. She came from actually one of Sis's buddies that I met through her, Tony Jones. He owns Richard Jones Reptiles. So we were at Tinley, and that's whenever, we were kicking it and everything. And, remember, I kept telling you about Matt Minatola's booth, and I was like, dude, look at his booth, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Matt had nothing but thunder at that booth in Tinley. I mean, obviously, he's fucking Billy Herb,
Yeah, I do.
So me and Tony went over there, and Tony was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, I don't really know, man. I was like, I just want one. I don't know. I'm not trying to I didn't really know then. You know, I just knew I wanted one. I had always wanted a blood. I wanted a blood more than I wanted a ball python. But, you know, when I started getting back into it, I was, I was fucking scared, man. I hadn't fucked with a snake in 15 years, you know? So, I mean, it was intimidating and I wanted to get ball python, whatever. So we get her. That's Mallory. She is a VPI, T positive albino blood python. I think she is a 2018. Beautiful, beautiful girl. And what that did for me, once I figured out what it was, and something inside me sparked, man, you know, because whenever, and this is something that I think, you know, anybody, dude, you know, it's like, you know, when I first got back into ball pythons, like I said, dude, I got some of the ball pythons from some of the shittiest people just because I didn't know I didn't necessarily, quality didn't matter. You know what I mean? What's going on?
I've given you a lot of shit about all the short tails you bring into because you always send me pictures. It seems like every other week you're like, I'm getting a new short tail.
Well, for a while it was bad, man. There for a while because I mean, dude, I wasn't working.
There for a while. Didn't you just get a new snake today?
I did. That wasn't a short tail though.
Okay. I guess you're off the hook.
Shit. And as long as I have a place to put them, man. You know, I've got a whole empty FB90 rack waiting on them to grow up.
Yeah, so. Good. Yeah, you're doing it responsibly. That's the great thing. I love giving you crap because it's not real crap. You're doing it responsibly, so it's cool.
You and Jerry Robertson, man.
Jerry Robertson?
I said you and Jerry Robertson. You guys, you remember? You always gave me shit about the males being first, and you label it pairing. Or is your male first? Like, does it matter? But no, yeah, it is.
Well, see, that's where I messed up with Dave and Tracy. I think is the whole male first mentality. That's where I really messed up, was the male first mentality. I just went in and I assumed, I was like, oh, I need to talk to Dave. Dave's got all the knowledge, blah, blah, and then that's where I messed up. That whole Barker relationship was I went in thinking that Dave was wearing the pants. To be fair, he was wearing pants at the show.
Yes.
But
I get it. No, I get it.
But after then, I just recently was on the phone with Eugene Bissett, and I was talking to him about Dave and Tracy and how I messed that up, like trying to get one of them on a video or trying to get Dave on video, and Tracy shut me down. He's like, well, yeah, Dave is a good sperm donor for Tracy. These are his words. He didn't tell me I couldn't say that, so sorry, Eugene. There's only one thing he told me in that conversation I couldn't say. That wasn't one of them.
She, you know, I mean, dude, I'm actually in the process. I'm not gonna talk about that. So.
All right. Another more incentive to continue to try and get one of the Barkers onto a video.
But what I was getting back to is it was so important to me seeing that I started with such quality to keep that going. You know, like I was saying, whenever I've got into ball pythons initially, I mean, my first clutch was like, you know, the banana calico was a milestone for me, and he's beautiful. You know, that banana calico up there is my wife's favorite snake, man, and he throws nothing but fire. But it wasn't, you know, what my first clutch of broncs are going to be. You know what I mean? And so what was super important was to invest with people like Tracy Barker, Nick Bettini of Cold Blooded Earth. Shout out to Nick. You know, who else? Ryan Boyd. I mean, Ryan, you know, not many people outside of the short tail world really know about Ryan, but Ryan has pioneered, you know, orange heads, man, to the point where, you know, you can see what he has done over the years. That's where that genetic stripe, you know, male came from, man. You can see the stripe down its back. I mean, it's insane. You know?
This isn't that pairing that you're talking. I've got your first. You
No,
brought
no,
up your
no, the
first clutch.
that pairing, are you pulling it up right now? That is, so this will be my, if she takes, you know, I had this genius in a Facebook group tell me the other day that if that female doesn't ovulate, that lock doesn't mean anything. And I was like, have a good day, bud. Thanks, man. What the fuck? Obviously not, dumbass. Fucking Facebook group.
If you don't paint the fence white, it's not gonna be white.
Damn. Yeah, dude. He said that. I mean, you know, and I just kill him with kindness, man. You know, because so many people at this point, they know that I'm just going to say what it is. But at some point, you know, you don't want to be a mean ass old man all the time. I just kill him with kindness. But anyway, okay, so that pairing is my first wrong pairing ever, and they locked literally. Okay, so I've paired them twice, and dude, I was like reading this book. By the way, if you know, you guys, can you see? There you go. That is the Holy Grail, bro. This is a book written by Richard Crowley, and it tells you everything you need to know. Now, there is things like, I mean, I don't know if you did them. You probably didn't. But there's things that like light cycles and turning her heat way down. I mean, some of the things you do with balls, obviously, but the light cycles was getting me, dude, you know? Because this is kind of like my relaxed space. I mean, I stand. Like, I've got a chair in here sitting down now, but most of the time I stand, you know? So yeah, man, you have to have these like light cycles. And so what happened was I woke up one day and I didn't do my light cycle. And I come home and I'm like, oh my God, my light cycle. I flip the lights on, I rip open her tub and they're locked. And I'm like, I was like, oh shit, oh shit. So I opened, and that's a huge ass FB90. That takes up, I mean, I don't have much space. It literally fits right through here.
You're saying it's bigger than your average FB90? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That thing is enormous, dude. I mean, that's like a small child's sandbox. You know what I mean? Like one of those old turtle sandboxes. It's that big.
That's the biggest Boeing 747 I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's obviously, here's your sign. Yeah, whatever. But you know.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do know. I've stared at a freaking rack of FB90s right now, dude. They're great tubs.
They are. If I'd had to do it again, I would have got them without the cups in there, though. So, but she's like in shed wrapping right now. So I mean, and there's only been, but you know, I know how the process works. But she is a virgin, dude.
Not anymore. So, not according to that picture.
The
picture says otherwise.
Oh, you're lying. But no, so she's never had a clutch before. And Tony, you know, he really took care of us on that snake, man. That's another thing I'm telling you, dude. Like, I have been so lucky with the people who I have come across and who I have, you know, had the pleasure of meeting and calling friends, you know. I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for those people. And that's 100%, you know. I mean, the people that, because these people don't have to sell you their snakes. I got a snake from, and they're it's like boutique type shit, you know. It's not like you're going, I'm not going to say anybody's names, but I mean, you know, you can go to Morph Market and there's people that have 800 listings, 900 listings and shit, you know. These are like, we've got 2 clutches. Here's what's left. Here's what's left out of the list that's been going. There's a guy right now, I don't know if you follow Dan Magano.
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Dan's awesome.
In fact, I thought about Dan. Well, I think about Dan. I think about Matt. Not to discredit any other of the amazing short tail breeders out there, but Dan and Matt. Like when I did your little rap to announce you at the end of the thing, was like, that your short tail game is like. I was like, oh, but these guys have been doing it for so much longer than you, huh? but
Oh
but
yeah. I mean, but that's the thing though, dude, is that those dudes, I've paid my respects to, and I've said, hey man, I would love to own one of your animals and have it in my collection, and I don't have to breed everything I have, dude. I don't plan on breeding everything I have. These animals are beautiful, dude. I just want to look at them. We're getting ready. There's some of them that I plan on breeding, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you have animals that you just enjoy having.
yeah, I've got many animals around here that have been ready to breed for a long time, and there's no
Yeah.
plan really to pair them. Yeah,
I mean,
I just love them.
I've got the berms. The berms are in the living room right now. I'm blessed to have the wife I have that lets me put 2 8-foot Burmese python cages in the living room.
Yeah,
I mean, she's not a snake person really, but I mean, I don't plan on breeding them. They're pets, man. And so, but yeah, I mean, the short tails are just so important to me, dude. And I really feel like they're important to me because I feel like I would be following my heart and not doing A, what everybody else is doing, and B, what might be the smartest thing to do financially. I'm not worried about that, man. And I have caught, people might look at you differently whenever they think that, there's a difference really between like a professional breeder and like a hobbyist type breeder, because I personally, like, I know people, a lot of my friends, when they sell a snake, you get an invoice, you get like a fucking receipt, you get all that, dude. When I send you a snake, you get a handwritten note, and this is when it ate, this is what it was sitting on. I mean, and for a while I felt really bad about that. I felt like, fuck, I need to step my game up and this and that. And then I realized as long as when they open that bag and that quality is right there and they can see and I can tell them where this grandfather came from and blah, 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 because of the fact that I've met such good people that they will tell you that information because they know that information, lineage is so important in short tails, and that is another thing that I think is so important and so attracting to the short tail game really is that breaks down to that first clutch because that's that first Brongerstein or Brongerstein
Brongerstein, I like it.
that sounds like a meat, doesn't it? Holy shit.
Yeah, big fat sausage snake, Brongerstein.
Sounds like some sort of a meat and beer combo. Anyway.
Isn't that what created short tails? Is meat and beer, right? It's a meat and beer python. That's what it is. Brongerstein.
Yeah. But that is because I had the choice because I originally bought a male ivory het T-Paws to go with this girl. And I was, because she is a Matrix T-Paws, but she's a VPI. Then Ryan offered me that male that's in the picture, which is a VPI stripe. So this pairing is a VPI stripe, male first, VPI stripe to Bertha, who is a VPI Matrix T-Positive. And that is one thing I have learned. I haven't been doing it that long, man. I got my first short tail last October. Coming up on a year I've had Mal, and she's changed my life, dude. She has, the confidence that gives you, in my opinion, to go down your own road per se, where it's not your own road, but it is for me. Because dude, I had a room full of ball python, and to literally in the past, 6 months, as much money I get it. It's not about the money, but what it is it's about the quality, and that's what it's about. It's about having top-notch animals. In my opinion, man, that's every bit of it.
I'd say even beyond that, it's saying it's not about the money. It's about having top shot. It's about enjoying what you're doing, which you're clearly doing. I want to go back to your point you said about you're so blessed to have these people that have come across your path, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you more credit than you're giving yourself. And say what I said earlier. It's the energy you're putting out. The energy that you're putting out. You're like you love what you're doing. You obviously love it, and you have the vibe that is attracting people to you because you're just a good dude, plain and simple. Like you're just a good dude, and good dudes, like a lot of people out there try to act like a good dude. There's people out there that they try to act like they're a good person. They try to. It happens all the time, and I get it. Like you want people to think you're a good person. Why wouldn't you want to be thought of as a good person? Some people take the opposite route where they don't care. They're just an asshole, and they just will be an asshole. So be like, oh look, he's so brave to be an asshole. Or people will mistake it sometimes and be like, he's just really truthful. No, he's an asshole. And he's truthful about it, but he's an asshole.
He just tells you how it is.
Yeah, he says it how it is. He's a negative piece of asshole. That's it. That's how he sees it. And I mean, not that there's not a little bit of credit due for that. It's like if you're an asshole and you own it, at least you're owning your assholeness. But what you're doing is you're owning the fact that you're a good dude. And you're putting that energy out there. That's what I see. This is what I see. And obviously a lot of other people say it too, because you're saying you're blessed to have these people come across your path and work with you. It's because of you're a good dude and you're owning that fact, bro. So give yourself. I'm going to give you the credit that you're not giving yourself, and just say that you are.
You're right. You're right. That comes from being around a long line of shitty dudes. I think, you want to break that cycle. So I mean, that's what feeds it. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, and when you have damn right tattooed on your knuckles. And you're tattooed from literally neck, people expect you to already be a dick, man. People expect you to already be that criminal, dude. So I've just spent so many years. I've been tattooing for like 19 years,
Wow.
So, I mean, I've spent so long almost being overtly nice that I've just become this dude. I mean, and that's kind of cool, man. I mean, but what fueled it was totally trying to be better than anything I had examples of besides my mom's. They took care of me. So, but I mean, as far as any type of my grandfather, he was trying the best he could, with literally a family full of females. So, but yeah, man. I mean, that's what that's about. You just want to be better than people expect you to be. So
hey, under promise and over deliver. That's a winning combination of ideals.
That's it, man. That's it. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty stoked on the orange head stuff coming. I mean, there's I feel like I can do so much, and it might take me 7-8 years, whatever, dude. Oh no. So, I mean, there's so much I feel like I can do with these orange heads, man. Especially if I take off what Ryan's already done, pretty big things coming, this way in the next probably 3 or 4 years. With the things we've invested in, there's no choice but big things.
Yeah, I would think so too. With all the pictures I've gotten over the past, this entire COVID situation, I feel like I'm always getting like, here's another snake. I'm like, holy, all right.
I think I sent you like 6 screenshots that one time of like fucking FedEx pickups at the hubs and shit. Yeah, it got pretty bad, but I mean, dude, I've got places for them all to live and grow up.
I know, like I said, you're doing it responsibly. It's just the only reason I give you shit is because the only reason I give anybody shit. I don't give people shit if I don't like them. And I think that I've established that.
I feel like it would be a different type of shit. So, I don't want to.
I've never thrown actual feces at anybody that was my own.
That's like some. I saw that there's like a meme I saw today, and it was like this lady going, and it said, "Your music changed my life." And then on the bottom of it, it had Gigi Allen taking a shit on stage. Yeah. anybody that doesn't know who Gigi Allen is, you need to go Google that shit, YouTube that shit right now. Don't let the kids watch it. Spend some time. That's rock and roll right there.
My favorite, if we're getting into rock and roll fecal stories, I think still my favorite one to this date is John Bonham's fecal bomb, just because he was also my favorite drummer in the of all time. I would say it's just he also they had his own share of dropping bombs in certain places that they weren't necessarily supposed to go.
I'm a Keith Moon man myself, dude.
Keith Moon, hey, I can appreciate blowing stuff up too, especially the drums. I can appreciate smashing.
How you went that balls out and made it sound that good, I have no clue. Crash and burn, man. And that's wild, you know it? So good. And like it's wild.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're gonna stay on rock and roll drummers, you know, there's so many good metal drummers.
Well, who was it? I don't remember who was it that said this about Keith Moon. I wish I could. It definitely wasn't Hendrix that said it about him. They played shows together, of course, but somebody said it. Oh, who was it? I wish I could remember there was a quote somebody said about Keith Moon. And he's like, I didn't realize that drums could be a lead instrument until.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's it, dude. Because I mean, it's like that's you're captivated. You're like, holy shit! It's like way before Tommy Lee went up there and started spinning around in the you know, you had Keith Moon giving it hell. You know.
Yep.
Beat the hell out of Ringo Starr just like that.
Oh, Ringo gets the short end of the stick too many times, man.
He does.
I guess that's what happens
if I looked like that, I would expect to get some sort of a stick too, you know.
It's tough when you weren't even the original drummer, and then you just step in next to McCartney and Lennon and freaking Harrison like that. It was like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah. They should have had him playing Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. He's like, I got a golden ticket. He didn't do shit. He just stepped into it and got it, man.
What? Octopus's Garden has no credit with you? No? All right, fair enough.
I dig the Beatles, though, man. I dig the Beatles. You know, I'm a Lennon fan. I think I like Lennon. My favorite Beatles song is "Happiness Is a Warm Gun." I think, without a doubt. My mom's is "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." I love that song.
Both decent tunes. I'm gonna have to go ahead and call Rocky Raccoon. It's like one of the very first I ever heard, and still
pretty good dude.
I just love the story. I love the story of it. It's like this, you know, it's like John trying to do his like American cowboy thing. Down in the center. Oh, I don't know why I can't even say it right now. In the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota, there lives a young boy named Rock Raccoon.
Hell yeah.
One day I was woman off with another guy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Well, shoot, Matt. We're coming up on our hour. I know we're gonna jump in and do a Zoom call with the Patreon folks here in just a minute, but I'm super stoked that I had you on, man. This went as well, if not better than I could have imagined it going, dude. I appreciate you, and I think that you deserve all in any credit and attention that comes your way, man, because you're a good dude. You got your heart in the right place, and I mean, shoot, dude, you can't really do much more than that to become somebody that should be on this channel, in my opinion. So
thank you, brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man. Guys, there's a link down in the description for Matt's channel that he does have on YouTube. It's right down there. You can find it. It's easy. You just click on it, takes you right to his channel, and see all the amazing short tail stuff he's got going forward, and just being a cool guy. And thank you, sir. Again, I'm gonna do my little sign out, and then I'll see you on the Zoom chat in just a moment, my friend.
Man, thanks, guys. I appreciate it, you guys.
Is there anything you want to say before you take off to the people?
Not really, man. Good. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Shit, get a short tail. It should have been a short tail. Hashtag should have been a short tail. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh man, that. I love that. See, I just want to have friends on, and we're just gonna have a good time, and that's all it is, folks. That was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Usually, I don't know if you guys know, usually I don't eat during the day so that I can have full energy and be like totally energized and full brain power. But today I broke at about 3:30 p.m. and Hillary was cooking quesadillas for the boys and the girl, and I was like, oh, quesadilla looks good. So I ate it, and then of course, since I ate the quesadilla, I was like, well, I've got to also pour myself a glass of whiskey. And I'm glad it happened that way, because everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, I think, which is a point I was trying to bring to Matt. It's like he puts out the energy and the stuff comes the way that he needs it to get him to, and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just talking bullshit. Matt's a good dude. Go check out the link in the description. Follow him, and I'll see you guys right after this little outro for the announcement of next week's guest. Yeah. Love you guys. Matt, where'd you go? Matt went splat like a snake eats rat. Smoked a fat bat in a state 48 hat. I'm glad that he was willing to join us for some chillin'. Next time we'll have to do it out in Tennessee. Speaking of the region, you hear some tires squealing? Open her up and lay some rubber on the road. Full throttle through the week to the next live stream. Yup, that's our next guest on the next episode. Until then, I'll see you later, my friends. Thank you for spending some time here with me. Keep your head held high, set your goals to the sky with your eye. You've been watching Triple B TV. I forgot to breathe. Thank you guys. Great time. Matt, if you guessed the next guest, leave a comment down below, and we will see you on the next live stream, my folks, next week right here on Triple B TV. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We will see you later. Until then, bye.